Alright, so the horses just ate their breakfast. There's Tucker. Rock looks like he must be done. Let's put this back. Oh. No. Why? Why do you do that? Why do you paw poop? Why? So as y'all can probably tell, the horses spent their first ever night on the High Line, and you can check out how it went in our latest joiners video. So we're at a state campground in Ohio, and we're only here for 2 nights. It's a layover to another spot. And if you watched one of our more recent videos about how much we spent last month, on our first month of travel, we spent over $4,000, which was a little crazy to me. And so we are working on budgeting that back a little bit, staying more at state campgrounds rather than private. Hey, what are you doing? No, you can't walk all the way over there. And so this is the beginning of that. So this campground, after fees and everything, was $25 a night. It's a very nice campground. There's a ton of people here because we didn't know it was going to be like this big horse association event. So there's probably like over 100 people here. And so we're trying to work around them and get on the trails before they all get out. Ruok's ready to get out on the trails. I felt so bad for him this last week because we were laid over and they were in stalls the majority of the time, and we were more at just like a horse motel, not a layover spot. Because Colin and I were out doing some things for Colin's birthday for the week. But this little boy has been used to being on the trails all day and burning his energy. So then you go from that to being in a stall. And we were working him as much as we could, but you know, I could tell he was getting a little feisty. He was really nippy, just being very pushy. So I feel a lot better that we're out here back on the trails. Even though we had a ton of fun, we met some friends that were great, lifelong friends, I think they're gonna be. And they were just really sweet people and went out of their way to make sure we had a good time. But I think everyone's ready to get back out on the trails. The craziest thing that happened at our layover spot, where Colin and I were vacationing, was that the horses escaped. We had put them out in an arena to just burn off some energy. Ever since Ruok got away from us on the trail, we all saw that video, I've been trying to think of a way to just make it a more positive experience for him so he'll want to stay with us. So I've been putting treats in my pocket, and I'll give him a treat like throughout the ride. So he kind of just like wants to come back if he gets away. I mean, hopefully he won't. But better safe than sorry. He's very food motivated, so. Our goal is to do Trail D right there. So I think we gotta go. This is where we are kind of. We gotta find here. Then we're gonna go like that. Then we're gonna go like that. And just follow that. And then it kind of loops her back around. We stand. Y'all will see how busy it is here. Here, Chuck, I'll put you on the grass, buddy. Horses everywhere. Let's all behave, though. Yeah? Come on. You're okay. Come on. No, I just want you to give me space, because you're okay, bud. Why are you so worried? Good morning. Tucker. There is no reason to be acting like that. Alright, you are being kind of a turd. Hey, Colin, can you wait for a second? Oh my gosh, is he scared of trucks? What is he scared of? Colin! Tucker is ready to get out of here. Hey. Tucker's being extra, Ruock's being an angel. Isn't that how it goes? If both of them were being turds, then we'd be up a creek. Hey, hey. Let's step over this really nice log. Step, not jump. Good job, guys. Oh, okay, we got away from the chaos. Dang, Tuck, you were not having it. I think it was all the engines. Y'all are okay. They're like, Mom, we haven't been out on a trail in a week. Colin, I think that's D right there. Okay, I'm just gonna follow you. No, Ruock. The thing is, at the place we stayed, they did have an arena, so I got to work in the arena, and I worked on canoeing with Ruock, like from Tucker, because, you know, that's not something they've worked on a lot, so it was really good. They did very well. They were both really controlled. So it's just a nice next step in the training. Y'all are hyper. Oh, bless you. D. All right, we're on the right trail. And one thing, so I was learning that Ruock has a little bit of allergies in the trailer. And I was really nervous at first that it was like shipping fever, because we had a trailer ride that was really long one day. And he came out and he was just kind of coughing up a little bit. Well, not coughing anything up, but he was coughing. But he didn't have a fever or anything, so I was just watching him. And eventually, over like the night, it stopped. But what I realized is I had the hay bag in there where they kind of like put their head into the hay bag, like through the circle to get the hay. So I stopped giving him that hay bag. I opened their windows and just put like the window grates up instead of just opening the screen or whatever, so that they get air. And that has really helped him. Like, he has not coughed at all since we started doing that. It's not the end of the world, it's a little twig. Oh my gosh. And then, so we went to Cedar Point, and we stayed at Tennessee Walking Horse Farm for the week. And we didn't really get any footage of it because we just wanted to chill out for a little bit after the one campground we had been at where it was just a complete nightmare. You know, we wanted an actual time to recoup. So the owners took us out on the trails with their Tennessee Walker. Why can I never say that? Tennessee Walking horses. And Colin got to ride, and he did so good. And it wasn't just like a trail ride where you're just like walking slowly. Like, Colin was out there, and he was, I don't know the paces of the Tennessee Walkers, but he was doing really good. I didn't even worry about him at all. And we were having so much fun. And it was my first time like really riding a gaited horse. So we rode Icelandic horses in Iceland, but I feel like I didn't really get to test them out and test their gears. But on this trail, we got to test their gears. And so now Colin's asking for a Tennessee Walking horse. And I'm like, okay, statistically, I don't know if that's possible. With our 3-horse trailer, 1 stall storage, you know. And mind you, Colin doesn't know how to ride. I mean, he rode those horses. He did very well. Like, he did not look like he had never ridden before. He looked like he knew what he was doing. I think just, you know, absorbing the knowledge he's been around. And he was even testing their gears, and he was figuring out their little intricacies about like, okay, to slow down, you're gonna sit back, close your hands. He did really good. But, so I feel like, I don't know if it'll be Tennessee Walkers, but definitely some type of gaited horse breed will be our next horses. Like, we will get some good trail horses. And those things are fast, man. You can just fly on the trails. Tucker's a good trusty boy. I don't know if he would keep up with them though. And then we went to Cedar Point for Colin's birthday, which if you don't know what Cedar Point is, it's like, it has state-of-the-art roller coasters, like the best in the world. So Colin is a roller coaster person. He went a few days without me first, and then I went the other day, and we just walked around. But we really enjoyed Ohio. We really enjoyed the trails we got to see. Like, these trails now are super nice. I think their horse associations manage these trails, and so the parks are just very horse friendly. And the cost of living is cheap, and we really liked like the Sandusky area up where Cedar Point is. And so, I'm not saying we'll move there, but I'm saying we definitely liked it, and we would definitely consider that area when we decide to settle down and not be mobile. Okay. Do not bite. Rock always bites my stirrup, so he's not getting me, but he's getting the stirrup. Because he knows if he bit me, he would, Alright, so here's a hill situation, a steeper hill. If y'all remember, last time we were going up a hill, that's where Rock got loose. And so we're going to take this slow and make sure we get after him. And I think another reason why he may have taken off on that trail is because Colin wasn't in front of us. And Colin kind of creates a buffer. And so we're just being mindful of that. I mean, like I said, that was the first time he's done that in a while, but we just want to not get in the habit of him taking off and getting loose, especially on trails where there's a lot of horse people, and he could come around the turn and spook someone's horse and get someone dumped off. Well, that says D. Treat break for the baby. Here, Roo. Look at that nose. Where is he? Here. Here. I know, Tucker. I feel bad. But you're usually pretty well behaved. I'll give you treats when we get back. Don't mess with him. Alright, we can go. Oh, wow, Colin. Oh. You'll want to trot a little bit. Ruach, don't bite. Good. Bip, bip. Watch that root, Tuck. Don't trip. Take it slow. Oh boy, what a slow, nice trot. Alright, there is a road right there. Do y'all see it? So you don't spook as they come by. Good. Okay, we are pretty close to this road. Pokey right there, Tucker. Alright. Well, here's the trail right here. Alright, we got another hill, so Ruach, I'm watching you. Especially because this one is steep and muddy. Steep and muddy. Alright, so they are going to try and scramble up this, which y'all can go slow. Come on, Tuck, don't chicken out now. Shoot. Good, good. No, baby horse. Come on, it's all right. Just get your hind end under you. Good, good. How'd you do up that? That was a weird muddy spot. It's literally sideways, holding the water. For those asking, I've seen some comments where people are wondering why we're traveling so fast. Well, first of all, our first month, we didn't know any better. You know, we didn't realize how traveling would increase our expenses, how it's just a ton of work. You know, we had to find our rhythm, which I think we understand going forward how fast we need to move. But on that note, we do have a time frame for ourselves. Like, we've given ourselves a year. Like, let's do this for a year and then see where we're at. And so we want to see what we want to see, and we only have a year. And then, of course, we are subject to the seasons. So, you know, the things we want to see in the Northeast, we only have this fall, you know, and then our goal is to be out west by the spring. So we do have kind of a time constraint we're figuring out. And then after a year, we will reevaluate, because we do have other goals in life, you know. We want to have kids. I'd like to go finish some school. And so that's why we're moving at the speed we're moving at. I mean, we will go slower from here on out. But we're also not just going to be chilling out in the same place forever and ever. Although one joy I have found in this is working with the horses and just seeing them get better. And I would love to, you know, the next young horses I get, I'd love to just train them this way. Take them out on the road, trail ride for periods of time, and then just get them broken in. So this is kind of my trial run with Ruach to see how he does. Ruach is still very much a young 2. You know, he does great ponying. And when he's worked, he does good in other areas. But when he's not worked, as we saw this past week, he can get to be quite a handful. I don't know if I will start him when he's 3, which would be kind of next summer. I like to think that I would, so I could ride him a little bit on this trip. But it's all going to be where he's at. Like, if I don't think he's ready mentally or even physically, because he's still only 13 hands. I think he has some growing to do. He's still very awkward. Like, he needs to kind of come into his self a little bit. And so I don't want to rush him. I think if he has this time on this trip, that will benefit him. Especially, you know, if we decide after a year, okay, let's have a kid. Then he's back out of work. And then he may have to wait till he's 4. So I'm not really putting an expectation on that for him. And you know what? When I was like 15, I would get on any horse, broke or unbroke. But now, I'm not so sure. And I'm not so sure he wouldn't buck me off the first time I got on him. So I'm gonna get the surcingle back on him and get some saddlebags on him and start there. And then we'll see how he is, because I want him to enjoy it. Colin, I'm gonna stop and give Ruach a treat. Ruach's been really good not like running ahead when I ask him to come to a stop now. Yes, you've been so good. Oh, I know you want a treat, Tucker. Tucker is impatient today. Colin was so happy because they told him that they were going to put him on a walking horse. He got super excited to ride because, you know, Tucker's 13 hands, so he doesn't get to ride Tucker or any other horse a whole lot. He's heard a lot of stuff about horses, but he never gets to practice it. So he was really excited. They put him on like this old chestnut mare the first day, and he was like, okay. Even though there's nothing wrong with old chestnut mares, he was like, I want a fantasy horse. That's always his thing. So the next day they put him on this big, black, beautiful Tennessee walker named Lady Hawk. And he was like, oh, wow. So he looked really cool. And the sad thing is we didn't get any pictures or videos. I would have liked a picture of him riding, because he did so good. I was so surprised how well he did. He looked very like balanced and secure. He was a natural. And the nice thing about those Tennessee walking horses is you can like put anyone on them, and you know, it's a much smoother ride. It's probably a lot easier to balance on those horses. I still think it's good probably to learn on like a normal trotting horse. I guess that's what they call, you know, like a normal quarter horse, Appaloosa. Because I think it really establishes your balance over the horse. But man, if you're just going for comfort or you're going for endurance, those gaited horses are the way to go. And then I've still been trying to figure out how to help North Carolina and even like Tennessee, Virginia, those areas that got hit so hard by the hurricane. They're utterly destroyed. And I don't think people realize how bad the damage is there. You know, being from that general area, I feel like you get more of an idea of what's going on. And man, like, complete towns are just gone. And so I've been researching some places you can give to that are like trustworthy, and I'll put all the links in the description. I was gonna make a separate video, and I still may, just to lay it all out. I just don't know what I'd put in the video, because I asked for footage, but I understand that people that live in those areas, the last thing that they want to worry about right now are sending footage to share. So basically what I've learned is you can give, if you find smaller organizations, they're usually a lot more trustworthy with your money. So giving to churches are doing a ton of work down there right now. I know that my personal church back home supports an organization called God's Pit Crew that go in, they provide supplies, and they also rebuild homes and houses and things like that. And so I'll put the link in the description to God's Pit Crew. Samaritan's Purse by Franklin Graham is also very trustworthy. It's a trustworthy source. Having worked in ministry, I know people kind of in that circle too, and I myself would give to that organization, so that's why I would recommend that organization as well. The organizations I wouldn't give to are like the Red Cross. You know, I've just heard mismanagement of resources on their part. Having worked in nonprofit organizations, what I tell people is, like, administration is a very important part of those organizations too, because without administration, like, that stuff wouldn't get done. And so when you hear that so much of the donation goes to administration costs, I wouldn't get upset about that, because that stuff needs to happen. If it's a really massive chunk that goes to administration costs, then I would start to question, like, okay, well then where's my money? What's my money actually doing? But there's always like a small percent that supports that administration, and that administration goes to organizing and running the donations and the outreaches that are happening. And so I wouldn't let administration costs scare you. I would just read the fine print and see how much of your money is actually going towards that. I'm in Facebook groups for horses in those areas, like North Carolina horses for sale, East Coast horses for sale, things like that. And so right now, if you're looking for a way to help and you want to give more locally instead of to an organization, I would say just join one of those groups and then put a post in asking how you can help. and you'll get information fairly quickly. And you want to talk about Tennessee walking horses. I've been seeing posts in my horse groups about people going out and riding. Oh my gosh, I just went through the biggest spider web. Anyway, I've seen posts about people riding out to bring supplies to the people because vehicles can't get up into the mountains. And, you know, they're probably taking those good old trustworthy, fast-moving, hardy Tennessee walkers, Missouri Foxtrotters. Like, those are the horses to have in those situations. Mules, we've all seen the mule train. And if you're like, well, I can't do anything, I live across the country, or like you don't have the financial means to help, I know this is going to sound cliche, but just pray for them. And I know I talk about, you know, I've been talking about that more on my channel, but it's because it's true. If you just have faith behind your prayer, you know, why not? Why not just try it? That's how I think about it, because I'm like, okay, what if at the end of my life, you know, I see my life in review, I get a playback, and what if I see the impact of every single one of the prayers I've ever prayed? That would be crazy, because you may pray for things that across the world happen and you never know it. And that's the thing, sometimes you're never going to know the result of your prayer until you get that life review at the end. All right, guys, this is muddy. Be careful. Be careful. Slow through here. You're gonna slide. Sit back on your butt. Sit back on your butt. Oh my gosh. Okay. Good, good, good. Another cool thing about prayer that I've heard, and that I've just personally experienced, is that it sets things in motion. Like, and this is a whole other conversation, but if you think of, like, if you believe that there's a spiritual realm outside of this physical realm, or in my mind, it kind of coexists together, and we don't see the spiritual, but it's there. So when you pray, things are happening in the spiritual realm, and your words that go out are making things happen in the spiritual realm. You know, and that in turn will impact the physical realm. Which, you know, sometimes if you haven't heard that or thought about it, you kind of need to just sit and think about it. But spiritual things can affect the physical. And so the question is, are your words, are your prayers physical, or are they spiritual? And they're spiritual. All right, pony needs a treat break. Whoop, whoop. Relax. You're a good little boy. You like going on trail rides, don't you? Yes. Tucker's like, I'm not having any of that. I don't get a treat, he don't get no treat. Hopefully I don't jinx myself by saying this, but already this morning Rock is like 1,000% better behaved. I think being outside all night, just getting out of a stall, although he does keep biting my stirrup. If you ask, what do you do when he bites you? Alright, first of all, you can use your foot as a block. So when he goes to bite my stirrup, I put my foot out and block him and kind of just, like, he'll bump his mouth into it, and so it's unpleasant for him. And if you want to use unpleasantries with horses, that's the way to do it. You block them, and that way they're causing it themselves. Because if you think about, I mean, I don't think we should use pain as a training tool, but pain was given to teach us boundaries. Humans need boundaries, you know, like don't touch the hot stove, you're gonna burn your hand. Horses need boundaries, don't put your foot through the fence or you're gonna break your leg. All right, so it's the same concept. Don't put your nose, don't put your teeth on my foot or you're gonna get hurt. And so when he reaches his head down, I block him with my foot. So once again, I'm not kicking him. He's running into my foot. And likewise, if your horse is trying to put their head over you, put your arm up so they run their head into your arm. And it's that barrier. It doesn't hurt them, but it's unpleasant. It's not comfortable. So that's one thing. If he actually does bite me, well, I am gonna smack his nose a little bit because that hurts and he knows better. And then I'll back him up. If he bites me real hard, I'll get off and I'll work him in a really tight circle. But he hasn't really ever bitten me to the point where I'm like, okay, I need to get out and just work his butt. Well, he did bite me the other day in the round pen, actually. And he got worked. I don't know where Colin went. It's funny because I've gotten used to being in the saddle now for hours at a time. Whereas I used to only be able to ride like 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm done. My feet are hurting. But I noticed when we were at the other stable riding in the arena, I was like, oh my gosh, I've only been riding for 45 minutes? But there's only so much you can do in an arena, you know? Where in tarnation? I thought we were almost done. Do not bite, Ruach. Alright, another steep hill. So we're going to keep this pony under control. Do not get behind him. You will get kicked. Okay, let's challenge ourselves. Ruach more specifically. We're going to trot up this more gradual hill. Hopefully he does not take advantage of this. But Colin's in front of us, so I feel a little bit more comfortable. Right there, you see, y'all? Just tried to shoot past us. Oh. Come on. Hold on. Come on, come on. Okay. Y'all gotta watch where you're going. Tucker, stop it. Good job. Let's give Pony a treat. He did very good. He did very good. Okay, hold on. We gotta stop. I can't. He'll bite me. He'll bite off my hand trying to get that treat. It's still really early. I got some work I have to get done today. But I would like to try and do a trail ride tonight too. They are going to another like boarding situation where they'll be in a stall. Just because we're visiting our friend who is about to move out of the country to start churches. And so we want to spend some time with him. I'm sure we'll go sightseeing. And so they're going to be back in the stall. And that's the hard part of doing this, I will say. I mean, the one great thing is that they have learned to deal with anything, any living situation. Tucker has done really good everywhere he's been, like in the stall, on the High Line, and the electric panels. And Ruach, I will say for a 2-year-old, he's done very good. He had a hard time with the stall. But it wasn't like too bad. I mean, he's only going to be in there a few days. We take them out as much as we can and work them. Tucker does get some stocked up legs. He always has. And so, you know, in a normal living situation, he would be out 24/7. Same with Ruach. Alrighty, we're back and we have to walk back through the trucks. Let's see if Tucker does better this time. He was scared of everything. I can already tell by the way he's marching. Let's shorten your range a little bit, shall we? We got through it once, we can do it again. Hey, Rock, I need you behind, because he's gonna probably act up. Relax my body. Sit deep. I am a sack of potatoes. Well, their trail ride starts at 10. And then they leave by 1, I think. Good, Tuck, good. Much better. Hey. All right, there you go, bud. There you go. I think I might need to tighten that a little bit, but here is a little trick I learned from my friend Joyce about wrapping the latigo. Oh, this way. You go like that, and then you go like that. Oh my gosh. You pull that through, okay. So you get 2 like that. Ready? Then you wrap, 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 wrap. Stick the remainder through one of those loops. There you go. There you go, Tuck.
He's ready to eat.
Why are we using the picnic table for our bale holder?
It's convenient.
Oh my gosh. Let's just make these as full as we can so that we don't have to refill them. Oh my gosh. Alright. And remember, if you're looking for a way to support us, be sure to check out our YouTube membership, where we're posting extra videos each week, just kind of sharing more behind the scenes of camping with horses full time. It's been a lot of fun. We get into a lot of interesting things on that channel. So the link is in the description if you'd like to check that out. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.